Let's see the general cases for which the Earth's pressure is asked in the exam. So this is the first one. So this is the one for which we derived the equation. So here gamma is the unit weight of the soil and water table is not there at any level here. So for this case, active earth pressure is given as Ka gamma H if we are talking about at depth H, and at any depth Z it would be Ka gamma Z. And if we want to find out the force, then force can be given as the area of this pressure diagram. So area of this pressure diagram is equal to half into H into Ka gamma H. So force is equal to half Ka gamma H square, and this is the force per unit length of wall. And this force would be acting at this level. It is the resultant or the CG of this diagram, that is H by 3 from base. That is the point of action. So after that, let's see for submerged condition. In submerged condition, the pressure due to water would also be acting. So we can divide the pressure into two parts. So here the same way we did for active earth pressure, similar would be the case for passive earth pressure. Just this coefficient will change. Rest of the things will remain same. So for submerged condition, we can write active earth pressure as Ka gamma dash H plus gamma W into H. That is the at this level, Ka gamma dash H plus gamma W into H. So what we do here, we write for soil in terms of effective stress and due to water. So due to water at any level, it is same in all directions, and that is equal to gamma into Z. So that is the pressure due to water. So this would be the total pressure, and if you want to find out the force, so again the force would be half Ka gamma dash H square plus half gamma W H square, and the resultant would be acting at H by 3 from base. This is the force, that is per unit length of the wall. So for next is partially submerged soil, partially submerged condition. So here we can write first for this above part and then for this below part. This is first and this is second. So for PA1 we can write as Ka gamma H1, and PA2 we can write as Ka, if the unit weight here is gamma, and in this part it would be gamma dash because it is in submerged condition. So we want to write the effective stress at this level. If we are talking at this below the wall, so the effective stress here would be gamma into H1 plus gamma dash into H2. So Ka times effective stress would give us the active pressure due to soil. Then pressure due to water is also there, that is gamma W into H2. And if we want to write at, let's say at any depth Z here in this zone, so for that we can write Pa is equal to Ka gamma into H1 plus gamma dash into Z minus H1. So Z minus H1 will give us this depth, and plus gamma W into Z minus H1. So we can find out using this formula in general. So this is for the pressure, and if you want to find out the force, then for force we can divide it into parts. So this part is triangular, so first part will be triangular, and below this we can take it as rectangular, and here one more triangle. So here in this part the value is Ka gamma H1, and this depth is H1. For this part, this width is Ka gamma H1 and this depth is H2, and for this part this is this is K gamma dash H2, and so this is due to soil. One more will come due to water, that is gamma W into H2. So here depth is H2, here also it is H2. So you can find the area of all these diagrams. So here this would be acting at this level, that is half Ka gamma H1 square. Here it would be acting at the center, that is Ka gamma H1 H2. So if this is FA1, that is force 1, this is force 2, here it would be half Ka gamma dash H2 square. This is third force, and due to water it would be Fa4 equal to half gamma W H2 square. So we know the four forces and we know their CGs also. For triangle it would be H by 3 from base. So we can find out the resultant force as, or the resultant location of the force. Force will be the summation of these forces, but the location of the resultant will be given as the x bar is equal to Fa1 into its CG's distance. So we can take the moment from this level, let's say from here. So here for this first part the CG would be H2 plus H1 by 3. So that is Fa1 into, let's say this is x1. Similarly for this second part, that is rectangle, so for this it is acting at this H2 by 2 distance, so that would be Fa2 into x2, and similarly Fa3 into x3 plus Fa4 into x4 divided by total force, that is Fa1 plus Fa2 plus Fa3 plus Fa4. So this way we can find out the location of the resultant. So I'll take one example to show this, so it will be more clear. Let's see the next case, that is for when two different soils are there behind the wall with two different soils. So this soil is having angle of internal friction as phi1 and it is having as phi2. This depth is h1 and it is h2. So let's write in this zone first. So let's say PA1 is equal to, if I am writing at any depth z here, so it would be Ka gamma z, and if I am writing at this part at the depth h1 but in soil 1, this is soil 1, this is soil 2, at depth h1 in soil 1, so it would be Pa1 is equal to Ka gamma h1. Now for the same depth at depth h1 but in soil 2, this would be Pa2, I can write as Ka, that is if this is Ka1 in the first soil, so Ka2 will be the in this second soil because phi are different for both the soils. So Ka2 gamma h1, and let's say this gamma for first soil is gamma 1, so it would be Ka2 gamma 1 h1. That will give me this part, whereas from the top it would give me this part. So that's why there is this shift in the diagram. And after that, at this level, at let's say this is depth z, for this we can write as Pa2 is equal to Ka2 gamma 1 h1 plus Ka2 gamma 2 z minus h1. And if we want to write at this point, so it would be Pa2 is equal to Ka2 gamma 1 h1 plus Ka2 gamma 2 h2. So this way we can find out the pressure, and if we want to find out the resultant, then we can again break it into parts. So we can break it like this would be a triangle, then here it is a rectangular part, or we can say this whole part is rectangle, then this one more triangle is there, so two triangle and one rectangle. So we can do the same thing as we did in the earlier one. Next is the case for uniform surcharge. So on this soil, when surcharge is kept, so now what will be the pressure? So active earth pressure is equal to, at the top of the soil it would be Ka into sigma, that is K is the active earth pressure coefficient and sigma is the pressure due to this soil. So Kaw will give me this part, and at any depth Z it would be Pa is equal to Ka sigma plus Ka gamma Z, and at this level it would be Ka sigma plus Ka gamma H. That would be the pressure. And if you want to find out the force, then again you can divide it into parts and the force can be found. Next is the case for inclined backfill. That is, normally all the assumptions was that this backfill is horizontal, but here we are saying this backfill is making an inclination of beta from the horizontal. So in this case, to solve this problem, the element what we normally take in our case, we take it as a rectangle. In this case it is taken as in this shape. So here the sigma z is this vertical stress and the active earth pressure is taken at an inclination of beta, and so this active earth pressure is given as gamma z cos beta. So why is it given as gamma z cos beta? So we know that active earth pressure is, it is Ka gamma z cos beta. So we know that it is given as Ka into sigma z. Now what is this value of, what will the value of sigma z? Let's take this diagram here. So this is the case. Sigma z is acting on this plane, and at depth z, what will be the stress? It will be unit weight times z, and if this length, if this inclined length is L, if this length is L, so this horizontal length would be L cos beta. So the force on this level, on this horizontal level would be gamma z. Gamma z is the stress at depth z. Gamma z into area if we do, so we will find the force. So gamma z into L cos beta into 1. This will give us the area. So gamma z into L cos beta is the force on this level. Now we want to find out the stress at this inclination. So if we divide this force by the area of this level, then we can find out the stress. So the area here would be L into 1, because this length is L and we take perpendicular distance as 1, that is L into 1. So this sigma z comes out to be gamma z cos beta. That's why here Pa is taken as Ka gamma z cos beta. Here gamma z cos beta is the vertical stress, and in this case the Ka is given as, that is active earth pressure coefficient, it is given as cos beta minus cos square beta minus cos square phi divided by cos beta plus cos square beta minus cos square phi. And so the easy way to remember this is, if you put beta is equal to 0, so what will you get? You will get 1 minus under root of 1 minus cos square phi upon 1 plus under root of 1 minus cos square phi, which is equal to 1 minus sin phi upon 1 plus sin phi. So you should get the active earth pressure coefficient for the horizontal case if you put beta is equal to 0. So that's how you can remember this formula. And so the active earth pressure is given as I said, Ka gamma z cos beta. So the force would be given as Ka half Ka gamma H square cos beta, and this force would be acting at an inclination of beta, that is, this is the force half Ka gamma H square cos beta. and it would be making beta angle from the base. This would be the pressure distribution. Just remember that it is acting at an angle of beta from the horizontal. So the derivation can also be done for this. It is also done using a Mohr circle, but that is not important. You just remember that the active earth pressure is given as Ka gamma z cos beta. So the force would be given as the force per unit length of the wall is equal to, if this ordinate is Ka gamma z cos beta and this depth is h, so the force will be half into h into Ka gamma h cos beta. So the force is equal to half Ka gamma h square cos beta. So you can remember this. You can remember this pressure formula, and you should remember the active earth pressure coefficient, and that this resultant or the lateral active earth pressure, in this case it is not acting in this direction, it is acting in the direction of this inclined slope, that is at an angle of beta. And so if you want to write the pressure coefficient for passive state, so that is cos beta plus cos square beta minus cos square phi divided by cos beta minus cos square beta minus cos square phi. So if you reverse the active earth coefficient, so the relation between active earth pressure and passive earth pressure coefficient is Ka is equal to 1 upon Kp. So this way you can remember this formula.